Hi, welcome to the First Issue Club. We're your weekly comic book podcast where, just like Sue Storm, we love a good read. We're here to onboard you into some great new stories and introduce you to a few things you might be interested. It's more than just superheroes. It's more than just spooky, scary anthology comics. There's something out there for everybody. And hopefully on any given week, we'll have at least one comic book that sounds good enough to you to go out and support creators in your local comic book shop, which brings you all the good nerd stuff. When you pull out your nerd card, you can feel like, I really earned this thing.
Yeah, it's people don't realize that at a comic book shop, your nerd card is actually your debit card. It's always accepted there. Unless you don't have any money in it, then it's not accepted there.
When you go to see The Mandalorian and Grogu, they're going to give you a nerd card, but it's going to be paper thin and flimsy. I'm telling you, the card stock on a comic book shop nerd card is unlike anything you've ever felt before.
You know, it's kind of unsurprising if you're a long-term listener, but I have had my nerd card slapped by CGC.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'll do that now.
Came back Jim Mint 10. They said, we haven't seen a better nerd card than Greg's. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm. And you might not have heard this exactly correctly, but he did say Jim Mint. Jim Mint is a character that they've got over at CGC.
Yeah.
And when you send things over that don't technically qualify for a normal grading, they give you the Jim Mint treatment, where this character Jim is like, it's a 10 to me.
Yeah,
that way you can display whatever you want in a slab.
He
you just
Jim
have to
Mint,
pay your $39.99 and you're good to go with any Jim Mint graded product.
He always knows how to put a good spin on it, Jim. I mean, he worked in hospice for a while. He worked with dying and sick animals, and he said, what's the next industry that needs me to help it out because it's going through a rough time? And CGC picked up the phone and said, oh, Jim, we sure
Jim.
love some help.
We could use your services. Jim's happy to oblige. This podcast is lovingly brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Company, specifically by their Space Camper family of beers. Greg and I each have a different varietal, which we are commonly known to do. He's got a NA Space Camper called Zero Gravity on on Greg's side, and then I've got the Chill Break Endless IPA, which is, if you're a long-time IPA drinker, you may remember the term Session IPA, a little bit lighter on the ABV, and then obviously with Greg, extremely light on the ABV.
Light.
Great to enjoy on a weeknight when you want those delicious hoppy tastes and aromas, but have to get up and be a warrior at your office or whatever else you do.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun trick of the mind. When you are a tired dad after work trying to get those kiddos into bed, and you want a familiar taste of Boulevard Space Camper IPA, but you know you got some more pressing responsibilities to do before that, crack open a Space Camper NA to get that delightful taste, but not send yourself to space.
Wow, we did it.
That's a cold read right there, just right off the dome. Boulevard, you are welcome. Take that.
And now we're ready to talk comics after you, of course, take that, listeners.
Take that.
We're going to talk about a little comic book news before we get into the books that we read this week. I have a couple things that I would like to bring to your attention, Greg.
Please do.
And then likewise, if you have anything for me,
yeah, totally.
Let me know. Have you heard about comicbook.com's digital vending machine?
Okay, so what is this? I saw a targeted ad for it, like on my TV fridge, and I was like, what is this?
On your TV fridge. I love it. They know where to find nerds. They're
Right
going to
in
be in
front
the
of the fridge.
kitchen, scrounging. We'll get them while they're at their lowest.
Or highest in my case.
Or highest, right? Yeah. It is there's a lot of these popping up around the internet lately, and it started, I think, mostly with Pokemon collectors buying like a digital card that represents a physical thing somewhere. So they've basically got a warehouse full of stock or inventory for this digital vending machine. You pay X amount of dollars. It randomly picks the like lot number for you. And then you can choose for whatever you won. You can choose to either have it shipped to you, or you can immediately sell it back for 85% of its fair market value.
I'm concerned that people are going to think this is a new career they can do. They can just go to this comicbook.com vending machine, gamble essentially to get
it's gambling
to get something, and sell it back, and then rinse, repeat. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
I do wonder if things like this, like when they become more prevalent, start to get shut down because it is technically gambling and probably needs to be like taxed and treated as such.
Yeah. Well, it needs to be regulated for sure.
Yeah. In any case, there's a $25 tier, a $50 tier, and a $250 tier. And each of them have different levels of or a different caliber of collectibles in them. And comicbook.com's vending machine has slabbed comics and slabbed cards.
Okay. Have you done this?
I haven't. I was thinking about doing it for just
an experience
to see what the process is like for the podcast, and just being like, yeah, I've got $50 extra in savings next month. I'm gonna.
Hey, Chad, I got $50. We're gonna go to this digital online space and see what happens.
And see what happens. Because I am just curious. Is it like a rigmarole to try to get your collectible back? Is it a thing where you want a comic book but get a random Pokemon card? If you do the $50 tier, what's the lowest value thing you can get back? Can you get a $10 comic from the $50 tier? Or because not everybody's gonna get the Hulk 181, right? They show you all the amazing comics that are in the vending machine, quote unquote.
Well, then why would they show me that if I'm not going to get it?
Yeah, right. Oh no!
Did you see
something crashed? I heard it.
That was not me doing folio work. A picture just fell off my wall.
Oh no! Was it original art or anything?
No, it was a poster.
Okay, you need to get it.
No. I'm in the basement. It's fine. The ghost that did it knows it did a bad thing, and it won't do it again.
Okay. Here's hoping.
It sounded fucking rad though, did it?
It wants us to move on from this topic.
Yeah.
But either way, the short story is, I don't know. I'm just intrigued by it, and I think you're going to see it more and more often as a way for shops to unload inventory, and in a maybe way that feels more reliable than a lot of people try to approximate this on eBay, that it's
sure,
buy a 1 of 10 gift bundles I have, and one of them is gonna have X-Men number 2 in it, and then 10 people buy these things, they get shipped out, nobody has X-Men number 2 in them. You know what I mean?
That's my worry of just
you would hope comicbook.com, at least it's on the table for you to get your hands on one of the comics they say they have.
I mean, one would think, but how do you ensure as a buyer that what they're advertising is actually true? Is there a catalog they have in the back of just okay, this member one lot 22413. Oh, it's the Hulk 181. Good for them. I mean, unless it's unregulated, they can do whatever they want. And like they may own a Hulk 181, but for whatever reason, through a glitch, that number keeps switching, so we don't really know what lot number it is. It just, this kind of stuff just seems kind of gross to me anyway. And it has about the same likelihood of you getting a rare Pokemon card from the old Pizza Hut quarter machine. Like, it's pretty small. And I can foresee a lot of retailers that we know of that already participate in kind of shady dealings really taking hold of this idea and just offloading a ton of crap on a lot of unsuspecting collectors.
Yes, here's the 400 slabs that we had gotten over COVID that are no longer worth a dime. We got them all speculatively.
Right.
And you're going to load up your vending machine with it. You're going to give us half of the profit from the sale of our things. And people are just going to continually buy these junk comic books because they think they're going to win Wolverine's first appearance. And Poison Ivy's first appearance. All these other books that they've got listed.
As said retailer, I can appraise those shit slabs as what they're actually worth, which is about $50. You know what I mean? So you can designate yourself an expert, move those $10 books into the $50 range, and make yourself back your money.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things that they're probably selling in the $50 range are like your brand new comics from a couple years ago that were spec buys that turned out to be nothing burgers.
I bet Berserker 1's in there.
Yeah, right. That you could get a Berserker 1 A cover 9.8 that's worth like $25 and you pay $50 for it.
I also am curious.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah. What's shipping? Is shipping included in this?
I don't think shipping is included in it.
Right. Which is why they include the buyback feature. Because if you win a slab, but now have to pay an additional $25 for shipping.
Yeah. It's not worth shipping a $10 slab to me.
Yeah. You just go, buy it back from me.
I also don't know if they're going to say like, hey, you got a $10 slab, but it's worth $50 that you like put in. And then are people just going to keep like pulling on this thing until they get something that they want?
Yeah, that's kind of how addiction works.
Yeah. So just interesting to see that enter the comic book space. It was early on in the what's it called?
If you forgot the name of the pandemic,
the Pokemon collecting world. It's a big deal already to have these like digital vending machines.
Oh, sure. I mean, that makes sense.
But now we're doing it with comics. So we'll see.
I kind of do want you to do it. I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
What tier are you going to choose if you do it? You gonna go big or go small?
I was thinking $50. Like I said, there's a $20, a $50, and then the next level's like really high.
The dramatic jump from 50 to 250 is suspicious.
Yeah.
I mean, logic dictates it should be 100.
Yes, right. But I think the deal is probably that you're getting something worth like $100 baseline on the $250 investment.
Yeah. I swear to God, if free shipping is not included on the $250, this is a scam. Up and down.
Yeah. Yep. How to use the comic book. $25 starter, $50 standard, $250 legendary pull. The more expensive the option, the higher likelihood of pulling truly epic comics. So you could get a bummer one.
Does that also reveal that you could get a shitty book if you pay $250?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
That's like getting an A cover in a blind bag.
Starter and standard pulls offer 85% payback on the card or comic's value. Legendary pull offers 90% of the item's value. You don't have to decide immediately if you want to sell or keep your item. You have 24 hours to sell the item back. Well, it doesn't say anything about shipping or exact chances. They have a video on their site, which I'm not going to put us through right now.
You don't want to do a live react to the comic book vending machine promo video?
Yeah, right.
Let's go!
I think if you would have told me, hey, this is a way to support like the smaller mom and pop comic shops, I would be less icked out by it.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is like, I'm trying to think of one of these like
short boxed.
Yeah, well, not short box isn't even like a centralized thing. That's just like a platform for people to sell.
Yeah.
But if it's like unknown comics and they've just slabbed a shit ton of their own exclusives for $25, like I don't want to give unknown or like one of these like huge retailer exclusive places that is overselling slabs constantly.
Yeah.
I don't want to like support them as an independent comic book shop. You know what I mean? This might be where I wonder if I could reach out to them and be like, hey, can you give me the name of like the biggest comic shop that is participating in this?
Mm-hmm. Do you think they'd give it to you?
Because if it's like...
Probably like, no.
Yeah. It's like, if it's like big time collectibles or something, I'm going to be like, oh, well, fuck off.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. It's something that I'm not interested in.
That's the right instinct.
Yeah.
I think our discussion of it is a warning that even though these things seem enticing, maybe they are to be avoided.
Yeah.
And I may let myself be a lesson to show you guys that you put in $50 and get
here's what you
terrible
do.
Comic.
If you
watch me get a banger and
if you are jonesing for that comic book experience that you think a digital vending machine can give you, I want you to do this. I want you to take $20 out of your bank account and put it in your pocket. Call up to your friends you haven't seen in a while that also enjoy comic books and say, let's go. Let's go to the local comic book shop. Let's go to the local vintage stock or any kind of secondhand seller. Let's just go through some stacks. Maybe we'll stumble across something. Maybe we'll tell a couple jokes and just get a laugh out of the day. That is well worth your time, more than some pipe dream of a digital vending machine that will likely give you some valiant 1 in 100 ratio variant. And that's the bottom line.
I love that. What a good take, Greg.
You know who didn't have a good take, Mike?
Tell me.
Liefeld is at it again. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Accusing Jonathan Hickman of plagiarism for Hawks and Pox.
This late?
Although this is not a new allegation, by the way.
Okay.
There were conversations that Jonathan Hickman borrowed the idea of the resurrection of Moira and her remembered memories from a book that was out at the time. That people speculated that Jonathan Hickman borrowed from.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of problems with that because, one, that's not a trope that is like unique in itself. Resurrection with memories or reincarnation with memories is a thing that's been done time and time again, right?
Yep.
And then, so the reason that this kicks up is because Liefeld is presumed pissed because Major X was not asked to be included in the Hawks and Pox event thing.
Uh-huh.
And so he's butthurt about that. And then, this allegation comes out that Jonathan Hickman plagiarized something like 6 years ago. We're not even in 2026 yet. And so he goes to Twitter just having a field day, just like, ooh, look at this. Like, I told everyone here that they should have been me instead of Hickman. Flash forward, for whatever reason, it gets brought up again. Liefeld comes out of the shadows and is just like, Jonathan Hickman plagiarized Hawks and Pox. And it's just like, it is weird timing because just the other day, I was thinking to myself, I think we're being too hard on Rob Liefeld. I think we are forgetting that he was once a kid that had dreams, that wanted to make stuff. And, zoomed out, he achieved that. He co-created one of the most popular X-Men, maybe even superheroes of our generations. He had a huge part in iconic artwork for Spider-Man. He was involved in creating a different publisher to take on Marvel and DC and succeeded in that. But as you zoom in more and more and more on Rob Liefeld, and as the years turn into decades and the decades turn into a lifetime, you slowly see the cracks in the facade of any kind of argument that Rob Liefeld is in any way altruistic to the comic book community.
I think he's one of these people who is trying to find space as, like, do you know who Stephen A. Smith is? He's like a sports
the commentator. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the same thing with, like, Kendrick Perkins is another, like, ex-basketball player, now commentator. And a lot of what they do is just have takes. They're a take machine.
Mm-hmm.
And everything they say is something that, like, could catch a headline.
Mm-hmm.
And they say it in a big sensationalized way, because every opportunity they have to speak on television is an opportunity to be part of the news cycle and show your value to the rest of the, like, sports community at large.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people in other industries are just generally learning from that and saying, hey, even if I'm an absolute pest, I'm ultimately in the collective consciousness more,
mm-hmm.
and more of, like, a figure people are paying attention to and looking at and clicking on, the more I do stuff like this. So, I mean, you and me right now are encouraging it. Like, even if it's like a absolute trash take and we all, like, know it is, and, like, I don't doubt for a moment that, like, whatever version Rob Liefeld would have written for House of X, Powers of X would not be as good as what Jonathan Hickman timelined over there with all of his charts and graphs.
Dossiers.
But even still, he's getting to be one of those people that I'm just, like, tired of talking about, because all he does is just have takes that are, like, shallow until he, like, hits on something that makes nerds like you and me mad, and then we talk about it.
Now, I do appreciate the comparison, but I think he's more of a Skip Bayless.
Okay.
Wherein, yes, he's a hot take haver, right? That is his role in the zeitgeist. But he's also a trap setter and a rage baiter, and he is the kid on the playground that can turn his eyelids inside out, and he's just doing anything he can to get the circle around him and the attention on him, so that no one notices that his mom forgot to pack his lunch today. And it's just, I know it went pretty sad there towards the end. It's just, I don't understand the end game. And if the end game is just to not be forgotten, there are better ways to do that. And I hope Rob knows that.
Yeah. He's got, this lines up with like a new Youngblood or something coming out, right?
Maybe. I mean, if so, double yuck.
I think they're rebooting one of his like Image comics in the next couple weeks.
Oh, wait, you are right. Yeah, that is happening. Oh, man. This is all marketing. That's that.
It's all marketing. Yeah.
That's deceitful.
Yeah. And it sucks to throw another creator under the bus for that, but I feel fairly confident that that's all this is.
All right. Let's see here. A couple things to touch on. Soon we'll be having Amazing Spider-Man 1000. Wow, 1000. Can't believe we're here, folks. Isn't it great?
We talked about this a little bit ago on the Patreon of like what would have to happen in Amazing Spider-Man 1000 for it to feel like it validates the big moment. And I think they have promised some like big things are happening, and you know, that gets promised in comic books on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So like what's that what is an actual big thing that would make you like stoked? And I was in my head, I immediately went to the idea of making retconning. I don't know if this is the right way to say it. Undoing the whole Mephisto mind wipe, taking Peter and MJ's relationship, putting those two back together, throwing a, you know, if we just do like, well, what would the past, like, what would issues 500 through 1000 be had Spider-Man not made that deal, and then we get like the kids from the Ultimate line get introduced into the comic book, and then that becomes the status quo. Is that MJ and Peter are now married again and they've got kids. Like that's what made Spider-Man feel really cool on Ultimate, and felt like a bummer that series was ending, because you just love that family dynamic that they had. And I felt like it was a great test pilot of like, Spider-Man doesn't suck when he's in a relationship. It's actually what like
makes him better.
It's actually something that could maybe make him better, or gets over the hump of like Peter's life having to be so bad that it just like feels so tedious to see him suffer to the extent that he suffers over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I just want to see Peter have nice things for a couple issues and just like have a fun villain that he tinkers around with, instead of like constantly battling depression and
just like
inferiority
depression
complex, and like not having like enough money to like buy lunch. Like it's all I would love to see something like that happen, and I think that's something that everyone in the comics industry would be like, or in comics fandom rather, would be like, whoa, holy shit, they're doing the damn thing.
That's pretty good. I have one that is a little controversial, and it's a storyline that I'm calling Dirtbag Uncle Ben, where we find out Uncle Ben actually faked his death with help from the
burglar.
A burglar. They've run off to Monte Cristo to start a new life together, so that he could live the life that he truly wanted to live. And then Peter somehow finds that out. He is traveling, finds Uncle Ben, confronts him, and then go from there.
I'm picturing like a 60s cartoon theme of like, this is the tale of Dirtbag Ben.
Yeah, he's also a sailor.
He was a mean old scamp who faked his death. Left his wife and his
Dirtbag Uncle Ben. I don't know why, but when you're singing that, I imagine he has like a talking ox that he also traverses Europe with. Somebody get Hanna-Barbera on the line. Tell him we got another hit. That would be cool. I mean, we've seen Uncle Ben come back in different ways. But I would like to see him not be like resurrected through magic or like a separate timeline, but legitimately, he wants out of the life that he has with Aunt May, with his nephew Peter, and he forms a plot to remove himself from that. He, falls in love with a burglar, or maybe not even a burglar, falls in love with someone. They hatch this scheme that he gets shot by a burglar. It was just happenstance that an electricity truck was driving by, and it says, "With great power gives you great responsibility." That's where that line came from. I don't know. The Marvel's version of the birdcage.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
What a great pitch. We should both be working at Marvel Comics, obviously. It would be getting equal pay.
Yeah.
Things from another world. Things from another world. A shop that tenured comic fans will know as TFAW.
TFAW.
They're like fully closing their retail stores now. They closed their online store maybe a year or two ago.
I think this week they actually closed 3 of their shops.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was reiterating what you were saying.
You were reiterating what I was saying. Let me say it.
Go for it.
I have breaking news that they closed their website a year ago.
What?
Give me a break. I'm obviously talking about the shops. Things from Another World closed 3 retail locations, the last retail locations that they had, and it's a fond farewell to Tifa and a little salute to you for your part in the comic book community.
Yeah.
A Goliath of a shop has fallen, and we'll miss you, Tifa.
I loved Tifa. I ordered from them all the time. They were awesome.
Great customer service there.
Impeccable customer service.
If they shipped you something with a bend, they're gonna fix it.
They will fall over themselves to fix it. Please take one of our shops. We've inconvenienced you. Please take our Pittsburgh shop.
All right, you want to get into comics?
I do. I just want to make one quick little announcement. Mark Waid, Chris Samney at it again. Batman and Robin, dynamic duos coming out in August. If you're a big fan of that series, like I was, you are probably excited.
All right, very cool. I know Chris Samney said he hung on to those original art pages because that series was so important to him.
Oh, wow.
Something he normally doesn't do. He normally sells his pages on eBay in his own shop when he's done with a comic book.
It sounds like a real Scrooge McDuck. Now, normally I don't hang on to this usual piece of crap, but, Mark came to me.
He's such a sweet guy.
He is a sweetheart. That's why it's funny.
I'm turning... He's being emotional about it.
Mm-hmm.
He appreciates the work that they've done together.
Yeah.
And so he's keeping them as a keepsake.
I could never part with this, Mark.
Okay, let's talk about comic books.
I guess it's that time. We've
him
and hawed enough.
Mm-hmm. I've lost my patience with the news segment, and we're
as what typically happens with the news segment. You go, okay, this is fucking done.
Yep. We talked about a vending machine for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
Can I go first, please?
Yes.
Probably the book to talk about this week in a lot of people's minds is Absolute Green Arrow by Pornchak Pacheco and Raphael Albuquerque. This is much like all the Absolute lines, not your daddy's Green Arrow. This tackles what if Green Arrow went after the 1%? It's almost impossible not to draw parallels and lines from what's happening in our world within the last 5 years. There are references to people taking out billionaires by any means necessary, if you know what I mean. There are reminiscent parallels to like big CEOs and tech people being accused of sexual assault and like allegations, like much like Jeffrey Epstein, where they have like an island with all this kinds of disgusting things happening, so on and so forth. Where it is, we've talked about this before, where when a comic becomes too close to the world.
Oh, yeah, it's like no
in,
longer escapism, yeah.
Yeah, it no longer becomes escapism and more of, oh, I'm just reading the news, but in picture form. And, and to a point, I can appreciate that because sometimes important issues need to be at the forefront, right? I get that. And so with this, it is kind of an interesting take because Green Arrow, Ollie, is
a
rich.
billionaire
is filthy rich.
At least in mainline DC Comics. I don't know about is absolute Green Arrow
well,
working man?
He's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Oliver Queen is dead.
Okay.
And Black Canary is like on like a bodyguard team that is like now tasked with like protecting some of these tech millionaire bros, comes face to face with Green Arrow 2.0. So
okay,
we don't know.
Someone has taken up the mantle of Green Arrow,
right? Well, and I don't think there was a Green Arrow previously. Oliver Queen.
Hey,
Oliver Queen Oh wait, no. Was he? Yes, Oliver Queen was Green Arrow, but the name came from a Robin Hood type app that he made so that like you and I can buy stocks and better our situation, much like
he was like
the
a billionaire for the
machine.
people.
Yes. Yeah. He was the, who's that billionaire for the people that we have now? None of them. So that's where the fiction part comes in for this book. It's like the closest we have is what, Mr. Beast? And that's just sad as fuck.
Running his like weird Hunger Games and giving people
if you can survive
giving children
in this grocery
huge amounts
store
of money
filled with scorpions, I will give you $100,000 in Kohl's cash.
God, his whole thing is so strange to me. Interesting. That point you make about like what's the line that you walk on the tightrope of subtlety in symbolism or like what you're trying to stand a mirror up to society with.
Right.
And sometimes it feels really validating to have someone just come out and say the damn thing.
Yeah.
And other times you're just like, oh, I wish this had a little bit more subtlety to it, or was more of an abstract allusion to like a part of this instead of tackling like such a big viewpoint that it does just feel like, oh, you've squeezed superheroes into the news cycle. So, I'll be interested to see where this one goes. I'm not a huge Green Arrow fan. But I love Pornsack's work, and I'm giving it a shot at least. I haven't read it yet, but
I think it's safe
few issues
to try any of the Absolute books.
Yeah.
Just the first couple issues. You're not
I just gotta draw a line somewhere, you know?
You gotta stand for something or fall for everything.
There's just too many. Like, am I gonna follow? This is my thing. Am I gonna follow the whole line of Absolute Comics and then also follow a parallel universe of the same characters? That's hard to.
Yeah, hard pass.
I'm mixing up my storylines and my the identity of like what I think Batman is supposed to be and all the other peripheral characters,
right?
Because they've gone on for like all like 20 plus issues now.
Yeah. The only saving grace for me is, thank God Batman is 2 different sizes, or I would be holistically confused on what book I'm reading.
Yeah, I'll say that I personally feel like I'm more burnt out on Absolute books than I felt burnt out on the Ultimate Universe books at Marvel.
Really?
I liked I felt fresher at the end of the Ultimate Universe books than I feel with the Absolute Universe right now. And I think part of that was that Ultimate did have a beginning, middle, and end.
Mm-hmm.
And so the stakes it was able to raise around issue 20 are things that the Absolute Universe has to kind of like kick the can on because it's supposed to exist like quasi indefinitely now.
Yeah.
And they'd be stupid to shutter it. But at the same time for me, I'm just like generally finding myself gravitating more back to the mainline. I mean, the mainline Batman's so good right now.
It's fucking incredible. Let me ask you a question.
I'm just more excited by it than I am Absolute anymore.
The excitement that we all felt when the Absolute verse started, I believe, was coupled with the fact that we didn't know when this was going to end. And that's what made it exciting, of just like, this could be a mini, this could be 12 issues, like, this is incredible. So my question is, does the now open-endedness of it kind of neuter the Absolute line for you?
That's maybe a harsh word, but at the same time, it did feel like every issue was like a grenade being lobbed into what we know about Batman.
Yeah.
And then like the pieces that come out, you're just like, whoa.
These things are cool.
And one, you can lob so many grenades before you're just like, a grenade lob is no longer exciting to me.
Yeah. Okay, I think we killed it.
Yeah. And then two, yes, there is something that we like. I've already mentally moved beyond stakes in Superman and Batman and Spider-Man to some degree.
Yeah.
Because they've been going for like 60 plus years each.
Mm-hmm.
With like Spider-Man being like the youngest of them. But this new iteration of it felt so much like an independent comic,
right? That
seeing it get over its initial hump of like shock value for me and into this place where it is just like another Batman comic that I'm going to have to buy indefinitely with no like real ever beginning, middle, or end, but like arcs that like resolve themselves. I just have to get it in my head that that's what it is now.
Yeah, it got stuck in a rut. It was...
Well, and I don't know that I would say... I think rut is extreme.
Rut in the sense of just like... It came out of the gate on its ATV just humming, just doing donuts and crisscrossing, and like it was exciting. But now the dirt and earth and mud have given way, and there's bigger tracks now. And it's very easy for a publisher to just fall right back into those tracks and get back onto the normal, quotes, way of telling stories about their superheroes. And it felt exciting with the Absolute verse 1 through 12 because it was like no one could call what was going to happen next, and it was just more fantastical every issue, like you were saying. Now it's just another DC book.
Yes, that's a better way to frame it, that it feels like another DC title. And when there's 6 ongoing Batman books at any given time, I only have room in my life for so many.
You're
comics.
One Batman kind of guy.
So so Absolute Batman's one of those things now that I feel like I'm more inclined to buy the issue, like pre-order the issue where there's going to be Robins introduced, so I can see like what's that going to be like.
Yeah,
and then dip out until they say, okay, now we're introducing Absolute Question, and I'll be like, I love the Question. Like, what's that like? So, yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's my take on it, I guess.
Absolute verse experiencing the 7-year itch. But to get back to Absolute Green Arrow, it was very interesting, and it did have that kind of espionage Dateline feel of just like local vigilante taking out billionaires, one Bezos at a time. And it's just like, oh, okay, like, interesting. Now the biggest hook that's propelling me through, unfortunately, isn't the storyline. It is just to figure out who the fuck the Green Arrow is. Because he's wearing a mask. It's just like, okay, as soon as I see who it is, I'm done. Like, we've seen this story play out in real time, and the trial's in December. Like, come on.
Good God. Do you think it's Ollie? Like not actually dead Ollie?
Kind of like young Sheldon, not actually dead Ollie. I don't think it's Ollie. Who is his freaking cousin or nephew that came? Speedy. Maybe it's Speedy.
For it to be a reveal, it would have to be an existing DC character that gives you an aha moment.
Yeah, it's not going to be Jim Mint.
It won't just be Jim Mint, yeah. I mean, as much as I love that.
Can you imagine?
Send me off to CGC.
We're making a comic book for Jim Mint.
Rip me in half, bend my spine, send me to CGC.
I didn't finish. I'm bummed because I had to put it down early. Odin.
Oh yeah, you didn't finish Odin?
Can we talk about it? Because what I did read, I was like captivated, and I wanted to keep reading it. So you can spoil it because I'm gonna finish it later tonight because I bought it digitally. But this is Marguerite Bennett and Mr. James Tynion. Yes, Image Comics.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's an Image Tiny Onion imprint comic. Why wouldn't it be? This is a comic about a journalist. I guess I'll say trigger warning
for journalists.
Racism and tons of violence. My
that's true.
Shop owner, I think, did a great job of being like, so you know, Odin, I read it this morning. I really liked it. It is kind of hard to read in the ways that like society is hard to live in. And I was just like, I appreciate that. Like, honestly, like, it's great to gear up. Like, I almost wish someone would have told me something like that before I read World Tree. Because I just, like, after I read that comic, I was like, I just want to go to sleep and forget about World Tree for 8 hours. Like, it just...
Another James Tynion book.
Made me feel so crappy. But, yeah, it's definitely that kind of book. So, this is about a journalist who... ingratiates herself with the white power movement in America, and ultimately finds her way into a kind of inner circle. And that inner circle has like attachments to billionaires and like tech moguls and all these people who are like funding all kinds of like weird things be it for their influence or other freaky reasons. There's allusions to all kinds of things that this woman has had to endure to ingratiate herself to these people, and they outline like animal abuse and all these terrible things that you do hear like white supremacists do. And it's like kind of I really enjoyed like I'll say I always enjoy a peek into a subculture and a read on like what exactly it is about that like subculture that like makes them tick and what are the dynamics between people. And this book does such a good job, I think, of kind of laying out some of the psychological aspects and then giving you the different types of people that have fallen into that. And I think, you know, there's something to be said about how so many people generally are malleable and are looking for a community, and sometimes hateful people become that community and all kinds of people get wrapped into it because that's their like found
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
And I think the more we can cut that off at the trunk, the less hateful people you're going to have in our world.
Mm-hmm.
And this book, I think, does a good job. I don't think its mission statement is to say exactly that, but I'll say I think it does do a good job of giving you different personality types,
Mm-hmm.
and not just saying like, hey, these white supremacists are fodder for violence or fodder for revenge.
Right.
A worse version of this comic is, hey, here are a bunch of terrible people doing terrible things.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the subsequent issues, you're just going to see someone kill them without us having like built out any of their character or personalities.
Yeah.
And this book is taking what feels like more of a slow roll approach to like really exposing us to these people and finding out who they are, who are the leaders, who are the, I don't know, subjects that have kind of been like had their will twisted, who could like maybe be like saved in some regard, like a full spectrum of types of people. But this woman is at the end of it, finds herself in like this bizarre retreat that they go on, and then gets the group gets lost in the wilderness after having like a shared hallucinogenic experience, and they kill one of the people who is on the excursion with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it has become an almost like survivalist story where she is trapped with these people, and they have to rely on each other to survive or make sense of this like microcosm that they've found themselves in. And you know, we're going to see the power dynamic shift, and we're going to see like all kinds of interesting things play out about like these people who you rely on, who've like taken care of each other in certain ways, are still just like the worst people on the planet.
Yeah.
And how does this change the way we like think and feel about like their relationships and the ultimate comeuppance they get? Or, you know, do they get back to society and we say more about like the effect that they have on the world? We don't know exactly where the book's going to go, but the setup and the situation that it leaves us in at the end of issue 1 is so good that I'm just really stoked to continue reading this, even though it is difficult subject matter and very triggering to read several parts of it.
While I was researching this book, I read somewhere that someone described it as American History X meets Midsommar, and I thought that was pretty apt in its feel and tone. Yes. James Tynion has the uncanny ability to demystify and shine a light on these subcultures that kind of takes away the allure or the like intrigue. So like this expose writer who is infiltrating this neo-Nazi, do they call themselves like Thorists? Like they love Norse culture. Like I think there was like just references to that throughout.
Yes.
And when you see these as an outsider or like someone that's not really in the know of this, like these groups do seem terrifying, and they seem scary, and they seem otherworldly. And what is really fascinating is when you take a magnifying glass to them, they are just as dysfunctional and weak as any other kind of group that you already know, like a friend group or, you know, like your pickleball team. It's just like there are groups and there are dynamics and there are roles to be played. It's always this weird chess game that everyone plays in a group of just, alliances and who's dominating who and who's using who to get what they want. And this book is no different. And I just love that, they do despicable things. These are bad people. Well, I'm not going to glaze over that. but they are weak-willed, weak-minded, easily influenced. This book, I think, made reference of just like how the pandemic and COVID had kind of robbed these kids of like a more natural adolescence, and so they were just like chronically online, and they were afraid, and they were kept indoors, and like that. I think, I'll be watching documentaries on the History Channel about that in 10 years on my lazy boy. Like that time in everyone's lives affected each generation differently, and I think this will be kind of an interesting exploration of that, if I can say that.
And I want to be clear the way we're talking about this. This is like, we're not saying that COVID is an excuse.
No,
for that you should have empathy for white supremacists because of like COVID or the pandemic or anything. That's absolutely not it. But I do think that a story that approaches people like this with the like desire to like understand them, like what the fuck got these people here?
Yeah. What went wrong?
Is so much, it to me is so much more, it elevates it into a different territory than revenge fantasy. And I love like a B-movie revenge fantasy style thing, and there's like plenty of room for that in media and comics, but this is like this is that dialed up a notch because it does just have such good character development and an eyesight via this reporter into like what the fuck happened that got this specific group of people together, and why have they elevated to this weird inner circle microcosm of white supremacy was like such a nuts read.
It slowly towards the end turned into like a Lord of the Flies meets like The Most Dangerous Game kind of thing. I'm just like, the thing happened, and now everyone's kind of like, oh, every man for himself. Like it's kind of like now it's just a survival for your life to get the fuck out of this situation.
So we'll see where it goes from here. Probably. It's wild to see how much this says like I was gonna say probably the book of the week. It's hard to challenge a new absolute title coming out, especially an independent comic book doing that. But I've just seen so much buzz about this book online already that I think it's in book of the week territory.
Both books, however, do have similar material they focus on, which is taking down the uber rich, exposing the mystery and conspiracy behind everything, and bows and arrows. I don't know.
All right, I also read Mark Russell's Dog Tag.
I could not find that. Yeah,
on Mad Cave. Great read, like historical fiction of World War II, and has a guy who's this like journalist, and he's given a job to write like fake stories for the like kind of like war newsletter to see if spies get to it, basically.
Oh, okay.
That that these like rinky-dink publications are things that the Germans, if they get a hold of them, are more likely to believe are true than if they're being force-fed it through like national news or like the New York Times or something.
Right.
That's gonna feel like propaganda.
Right.
Whereas something, again, rinky-dink like his little cartoons and thought pieces about getting ready for, this or that invasion or setting up at base such and such. So you get some of these kind of like Shadows of War games kind of pieces of this, and this weird perspective of being like a war paradigm influencer into him being like thrown into combat, and it's very gritty and feels very like, I don't know, raw in a way. We had some heavy comics this week, man.
I was just thinking that, like, what happened? I need like an Alexa Pro or something.
But Mark Russell's a great writer, and if you do like historical fiction stuff, then this is a must pick up for you. Or even if you're somebody who's just like, I like the old EC war comics or the DC like Unknown Soldier type of things that just play with the idea of war, I think you'll get a real I don't know what I want to say, but it was a great read, and I think it's a comic that's gonna like stick with me for a minute because it's kind of heavy.
I will say, even though the material that we have been covering today has been kind of heavy, it's been a delightful week for creators that I love. Chris Condon, James Tianian, Mark Russell, poor Jack Pacheco. It's just like, oh, cool. All my friends are here. I want to read some stories. Yeah. Oh, god damn, am I sad now? But they do sadness so well.
Okay, so speaking of Chris Condon, the next book I read was Of the Earth.
That looks dope.
Also out on Image Comics. And there is a 2-page foreword in this that I would strongly suggest everybody read. And it is about like Chris's journey, kind of talking to locals and people about like local folklore.
Whoa.
And like stories of like whatever kind of like I'm trying to think of the term for it, of like your Bigfoot type or Chupacabra type characters.
Oh, a cryptozoologist?
Yeah, like your
or just like folklore
type, your cryptid type folklore that's been like verbally passed down or people have experiences with. And
I keep wanting to say tall tales, but
you know, like regionally people like really gravitate towards like one version or another of the story.
Yeah.
And he goes into some great detail about having interviewed a handful of people about one in particular that this book plays with in a way. It's not like literally taken exactly per se, but it is this idea of people drilling or wanting too much from the earth. And then there's a manifestation of this like oil-like creature that deals retribution for the greed of people. And it's again very on par with the messaging of like billionaires and greed in America, but this does it from an angle that feels like specifically like Southern Midwestern.
Yeah. Now the Earth's pissed.
And I love that too. I mean, I couldn't do half the job that Chris does in kind of romanticizing these folk tales and treating these people with like respect and seriousness that of their like actual held beliefs or their experiences that they've had with like unexplainable things in relation to this, and whether that's, you know, their own greed manifesting on, or not greed, but their own guilt manifesting onto a certain situation. It was a real experience to them. And the more we talk about these things, the more it's in our consciousness that like there is an evil that we don't have to be like learned in to understand that it's ultimately not a good thing, right? Like, like I don't have to read a book to tell you that like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be like fracking absolutely everywhere. that it feels innate in me that the horrors of the world could feel like they're coming from, or they are payback for this thing that we've taken.
Yeah.
That is like larger than us or not meant to be ours. And that is a kind of folklore-y type of thing that really intrigues me. And it's a certain angle of it that I've never quite gotten before. He had a specific name for this like particular cryptid that I'm spacing on, but I could open the book real quick and find it if anybody is interested in looking it up.
I do love that we have now reached the point in our existence where everyone is united against being frustrated with the same fucking thing that is happening in our world. And it's now reached the point, and I'm interested to see if we have more like kind of cryptid folklore stories moving forward, where we have to rely on mythical beasts to come up and take care of our problems for us, because we just can't. And even the people that we vote to take care of the problems aren't either. They're refusing to. In fact, in some cases, they're making them worse. And so now we have to have books where like Bigfoot gets a job at the post office and like, takes it down from the inside. Or, the Chupacabra is a liaison in France to like make sure that our European ties aren't crumbling.
Yeah.
God damn
it is called a wildcatter.
Oh, okay. That's funny because K-State's called the Wildcats, but it's based off an animal.
Which it's a term used for it's an individual who drills wildcat wells is a wildcatter. So it's taking this idea of somebody who has just like set up an oil rig on their own land to reap oil from from it without the like normal processes or whatever.
So that is what the monster is called, a wildcatter?
A wildcatter. And the more I'm reading this, the more I'm thinking that this foreword written in this book might have been fiction.
Oh.
That I thought he was I thought Chris Condon had actually interviewed
like he took on
people who like worked on oil rigs and talked to them about their experiences with this, like people who said they'd like seen this like cryptid or had experiences or knew the like tales about it. But this might be completely fiction.
Chris Condon was working on an op-ed piece for the Comics Beat.
Because I can't find anything about it actually online. But either way, you have to read that intro because it's
I just find
so
it
good.
Interesting that the cryptid is named after like kind of the way it was born, like from Wildcat Wells. Is that what you were saying? That
yes,
it's like if I was killed by a creature called Pizza the Hut because I like love pizza. Like the thing that you're harming yourself with now becomes like the personification of that task is just very fun to me. That a creature is named that is bore from a wildcat well is called a wildcatter. Words, man, aren't they great?
It's it falls into I found another article here that's like it falls into this category of industrial monsters. In speculative fiction, the idea of nature fighting back a creature conjured or altered by the chemical runoff, pollution, and disruption caused by environmental interference.
Moana, Fern Gully.
Some versions of historical legend suggest that early wildcatting crews in the Texas and Appalachian regions left behind food and scraps in remote camps, which attracted lynxes and panthers at night, which may have risen the some of the folklore.
Yeah.
So it's tied to a thing.
Yes.
But sounds like it's mostly a fiction that Chris Condon is coming up with and creating his own cryptid. Sorry, confused there.
Honestly, I'm more captivated to read it now. Just going through that right now, it's just like, okay, I kind of have to check this book out.
It was good. I liked it. I don't know how many issues it's going to be, but the first issue was great. And that's an episode.
That's
the First Issue Club.
Hey, everybody. If you're still with us through all those really tough, sad books that we read this week, 1, we're sorry. 2, it's over. You can go do something that makes you smile now. And you know what would make me smile? If you went to patreon.com/firstissueclub, became a member. Hey, if that isn't fun, go join the Discord. We'd love to see you. Mike D, you got anything else?
Drink Boulevard beer.
Yum yum, give me some dynamite dum tums. Base Camper IPA. It's not a beer, it's a journey. And this is an episode.
First Issue Club podcast is brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Company, the people responsible for our favorite drinks, the Space Camper Cosmic IPA family of beers. Our show is edited and produced by our hosts Mike DeStacy, Greg Lichtag, and Andy Vargas. You can find us on social media at First Issue Club, and you can join the supporters who keep our humble podcast going on our Patreon at patreon.com/firstissueclub.